A Russian soldier spotted on the Pokrovsk front was targeted by an FPV drone. The operation was carried out by the Worm Busters unit of Ukraine's 414th UAS Brigade, a component of Maguia's birds. A Ukrainian soldier launched a 120mm mortar shell toward a basement sheltering Russian soldiers. The strike resulted in no reported survivors. In the Kherson direction, fighters from the 73rd Naval Special Operations Center carried out a precise operation, destroying a camouflaged Russian base where ammunition was stored for raids on Ukrainian positions. Early in the morning, Ukrainian intelligence detected signs of activity on the outskirts of a village where Russian troops had occupied one of the houses. Using the cover of civilian housing, they had carefully concealed their base. Believing it to be secure, they were unprepared for what followed. Ukrainian operators prepared a strike using FPV drones, each configured for maximum accuracy to avoid unnecessary damage. One after another, the drones approached the building where Russian personnel and ammunition were concentrated. The first strike hit the exact location of the soldiers, causing a powerful blast. The remaining troops, caught off guard, attempted to take cover and flee, but a second drone strike targeted their positions. The house and the ammunition depot were reduced to rubble, with scattered remnants of munitions visible amid the fire. As a result of the operation, around 10 Russian soldiers were reported neutralized, and 3 more were seriously injured. Russian soldiers were observed moving toward the front line in the Avdiivka area. Their apparent lack of coordination and discipline in the combat zone was notable. Throughout the summer, a substantial number of newly deployed Russian reinforcements have arrived at the Ukrainian front. In the Donetsk direction, fighters from the 72nd Separate Mechanized Brigade Bulava and the Shadow Unit captured a striking moment when 2 Russian soldiers attempted to hide beneath their damaged armored vehicle during a Ukrainian FPV drone strike. The video begins with a Ukrainian reconnaissance drone spotting 3 Russian soldiers sheltering in and around the vehicle. Realizing they were being tracked by drones, the soldiers hesitated to leave. After a brief discussion, 2 chose to crawl under the vehicle, believing the drone would not be able to reach them, while the third remained inside, convinced it would be safer. As soon as the 2 soldiers moved beneath the vehicle, the Ukrainian FPV drone launched its strike. It entered the vehicle, triggering a powerful blast. The soldier inside was caught at the center of the detonation, while the 2 beneath the vehicle also suffered the effects of the explosion. When the armored vehicle ignited, their shelter turned into a trap. The fire and debris left them unable to escape, and their attempt at finding safety under the vehicle ended in tragedy. The Ukrainian 93rd Mechanized Brigade repelled Russian soldiers who launched an attack on Ukrainian lines in the Chasiv Yar area. The moment of the assault was captured by drones. 4 Russian soldiers were exposed to return fire from the Ukrainian defenders. Ukrainian soldiers who targeted Russian positions with grenades received air support, delivering a significant blow to the opposing forces. Russian soldiers became trapped inside a small building they had entered for cover. A strike using an explosive-laden drone targeted the structure, resulting in its complete destruction. Reports indicate that the Russian soldiers inside did not survive. A Ukrainian FPV drone spotted a Russian soldier alone in the open. Upon noticing the drone, the soldier appeared visibly alarmed and unsure of how to respond. He attempted to escape multiple times, but quickly realized it was futile. Despite his visible distress and gestures toward the drone, his efforts did not prevent the drone from completing its mission. The Ukrainian 414th UAV Brigade, known as the Magua Birds, tracked a Russian soldier using an FPV drone, maintaining steady surveillance throughout the operation. The Russian soldier ran with all his strength in an attempt to escape the drone, but his efforts ultimately fell short. The Air Reconnaissance Unit of Ukraine's 68th Mechanized Brigade detected at least 1 motorcycle and an ATV belonging to Russian forces at a vehicle checkpoint near the village of Tyatkino in the Kursk region. A drone was launched toward the location for a strike operation. The vehicles at the site were destroyed within just a few minutes. Luhansk region, Novodrozhensk city. Ukrainian forces detected a Russian T-72 tank along with a nearby ammunition depot. A fiber-optic guided FPV drone was immediately launched for an operation. After a brief observation, the drone struck, and both the tank and the ammunition stored under the building were destroyed. A Russian soldier driving a military vehicle on the road suddenly noticed a Ukrainian drone overhead. In a state of panic, he exited the vehicle and attempted to bring down the drone. The entire incident was captured on the vehicle's camera, moment by moment. The Russian soldier is making every effort on his own, repeatedly firing in an attempt to bring down the drone. At the same time, the drone appears to be adjusting its path to determine a precise direction toward him. The soldier is seen moving around the vehicle, trying to evade the drone's approach. The Russian soldier was unable to shoot down the drone, but the Ukrainian drone did not strike him. He managed to escape the situation unharmed, making him one of the few soldiers to withstand such a drone encounter. Ukrainian forces from the 47th Mechanized Brigade launched a bold tank assault on Russian positions in the Avdiivka direction. As fighting intensified along this heavily contested front, a Ukrainian T-72 tank advanced under the cover of smoke and supporting artillery fire. Crossing open terrain, the tank moved toward a fortified Russian position believed to be held by infantry and supported with anti-tank systems. In this operation, carried out independently by Ukraine, the tank successfully withdrew from the area without sustaining any damage. Many high-risk engagements like this continue to take place in the region. Russian forces attempted to advance on Ukrainian positions in the Det region using a T-90M tank. Ukrainian FPV drones quickly launched a counter-operation to halt the attack. After several precise strikes, members of the Russian assault forces positioned on the tank were injured. Under pressure from the attack, the Russian tank and its crew retreated into the forest. The tank, which attempted to retreat into the forest to escape the attacks, was still unable to evade the drones. Successive strikes ultimately destroyed the vehicle. The Russian tank was set ablaze, and reports indicate that 7 soldiers did not survive the attack. Reconnaissance units of the 98th Airborne Division detected a Russian assault group attempting to cross the border near Bakhmut. The Russian military convoy included BMD-3 Rakushka air defense vehicles and several armored personnel carriers. Russian forces first advanced across the border area with an armored personnel carrier. As the vehicle moved along the train tracks, it exposed its position, making it vulnerable to detection and attack. Soon, Ukrainian forces moved in to launch an attack. A drone, deployed for the airstrike, advanced directly toward the Russian armored vehicle. Disabled by the initial strike, the vehicle came to a halt. A second strike followed shortly after, and with it, the armored vehicle was completely destroyed. The second target of Ukrainian forces was the Soviet-made BTS-4, a recovery vehicle based on the T-54/55 main battle tank chassis. To counter this threat, the Ukrainian Command Center launched an operation using a unit from the Wormbusters UAV brigade. The drone strike was highly effective, completely destroying the vehicle in a single attack.